first time a cop ever drew his gun and pointed at me, I was 10 years old. Today is Wisdom Wednesday, and I wanted you to see what's going on from my perspective. Someone that you may like, respect, or even look up to. So the first time a police officer ever drew his gun at me, I was 10 years old. My little brother was 7 years old. There's about 8 cops. They stormed in the backyard, slid open the gate with their guns and their usual police jibber-jabber. Let me see your hands. Let me see the gun. There was no gun. Turn around. Hands behind your head. All that shit. And, my first priority was my little brother. My little brother was 7. This is him right here. 7 years old. Little cutie, right? And by that time in my life, at 10 years old, I had already, dealt with the police a couple times in my life. So I turned to my brother and I start to coach him just instinctively, right? Just because I'm thinking like, I don't want these dudes to smoke either of us, especially him. My grandpa would fucking kill me. My mom would kill me. So I started coaching him. Look at me. Put your hands behind your head. Relax. Don't trip. Nothing's going to happen. And I wasn't able to feel it at the time because my hands were above my head and eventually behind my back. But I could just imagine, his little chest, his little heart beating through his fucking chest. Because I know I was scared and I know he was scared. So, then they do the little thumb thing where they grab your thumbs, they fucking throw them behind your back and they fucking yank on them and you're like, fuck, And sooner or later, my uncle heard a commotion, came outside, what's going on? They explained. He yes-sirred them to death, promised that they were going to be model citizens. And then they figured, these little fucking kids, they were just fucking with us. But they left. So there's a certain adrenaline rush that goes through your vein when something like that happens. And it almost matches the same adrenaline that, that you feel when if your grandpa or your mom was to find out, that they'll whoop your ass. So nobody found out that day. We never talked about it again. Again, it's something that's normalized growing up, the police fucking with you. And you go on about your day. Over the next 25 years, I've been fucked with by the police several more times. As you get older, it sucks more and more, and you start to, now you're becoming a man, and you start to think, well, I have rights, right? You're a little bit more educated, so I'm like, okay, I'm going to go into the police station and file this complaint against this officer that fucked with me. It's not that easy, right? You go in, they put you into the darkest room they could find with the biggest racist cop that they could find, asshole of a cop that they could find. And they start to interrogate you. Like all of a sudden you did something wrong. And they gaslight the fuck out of you to where you're like, oh shit, am I tripping? What's going on? And by that time, you're like, fuck the complaint. I'm just trying to get the fuck out of here. Like if they let me out of this police station, man, I'm thanking God. And it's almost like, you grow up, you have friends and family that gone through this, and you don't really talk about it when it happens. Yeah, maybe, but you're normalizing, you're justifying what's going on. It is what it is. I live where I live. Maybe if I change my hair, maybe if I change the way I dress, maybe one day I'll just have enough money and get the fuck out of here. Maybe this, did this say I fit the description? And you start to feel like it's your fault. And you start to make excuses for your tormentor, the police. Classic Stockholm Syndrome. And you start to rejoice when they start messing with someone else and not you, just like you being in junior high and the school bullies fucking with some kid, and it's wrong, but you don't say nothing. You don't say nothing because you're glad it isn't you. You don't want to lose your teeth. Like, fuck it, let him lose his. And that's what we're doing right now in America with being silent and not standing up for one another, not standing up for Black people. And, I share my story simply because a lot of people out there, a lot of you, don't believe this is an issue. You don't believe it's your issue. And I'm here to just share my side of the story and the way that I see it from my perspective. And there is an ego, a power, and a race issue going on in police stations across America. And to be fair, let's put ourselves in in their shoes as police officers who are above the law, have a gun, and no consequences. If you were in their shoes with those three things, would you become an asshole? Meaning, if there's a group of people you didn't like, or one particular person that pissed you off a long time ago, would you go and impose your will on them because there's no fucking consequences, you're above the law, and you have a gun? Probably yes, if you want to be all honest. I mean, there's a couple people that I'd like to fuck with if I go back far enough in my history and in my mind. So what's the solution? Well, we have to take away the power from the police because they're only humans. They go through shit just like we all go through. They have personal issues that they can't control. They have self-hatred, insecurities that they project on others. So we have to stop that. And I'm not here to convince you not to be a racist, okay? I'm not here to do that because I can't even convince my family to eat right. So I guess what I'm saying is, to everybody, all lives matter bullshit is, hey, look at it from my perspective. If you know me, I think that you would have some empathy for what's going on, hearing it from me. And guess what? If I grew up Black, I might have been smoked by now. Or at least, the experiences that I've had, they probably would have been 5 or 10 times more experiences just like that. To all my friends and family who grew up in the area I grew up in or in similar areas around the city or the world, let me talk to you for a minute, because what we're doing is we grow up and we're dehumanized and we lose all aspects of being able to feel and being compassionate for other people because we've seen a lot, been through a lot, and you're just like, well, fuck it. I got to keep it pushing. And what I want you to consider is to consider that we're fucked in the head mentally, and our spirit's broken, and our hearts don't work the same way that others' hearts and spirits and minds work. So we have to critically think of all that happened to us or that we witnessed and understand that it wasn't our fault. We have to understand that it wasn't right. And now that we know better, we have to do better. So we have to stand up for others who don't have a voice or who have a weaker, lesser voice than us. And we have to help and protect them. So I'll leave you with a quote that I really like. It goes, above all, always be capable of deeply empathizing when any injustice is committed against anyone in any part of the world. This quality is the most wonderful quality anyone can possess. That's the Wisdom Wednesday. Peace.